Going out to Milwaukee, have a conversation there with Tasha. Tasha, good afternoon. How can Ken and I help?
Hi, I'm calling because I have only been married about 3 months, and I pulled our credit reports, and I found that my new husband has almost $100,000 in back child support that he owes,
Oh, dear.
and I don't know what to do. I pulled our credit reports because I wanted to get on the baby steps and first to buy a house and, do all the regular things that people do, and I don't know. I'm stumped with this. I have no idea where to begin.
My goodness. Does he know that you know this yet?
I'm sure he does because he knows I have the credit report, but he hasn't said anything.
Oh, my.
I don't even know what to say to him.
All right. So here's what we got to do. That music means we've got to go to a commercial break, but we're going to put you on hold. Hang with us, Tasha. When we come back, we're going to dive into this.
Before the break, we were on the phone with Tasha, and Tasha was informing us that recently she was blessed to get married, but unfortunately she found out that her husband owes about $100,000 in back child support. And so we didn't want to rush through that call. We asked her to hold on so we can really dive into deeper in here and so we can help her out. So Tasha, I got a quick question for you that I'm curious. Actually, a couple of questions. Number one, was this within the last 24 hours? Was this recently that you pulled the credit report and you had and you found this information out? And then two is, did he mention this at all? Did he try to hint to this at all before you all got married, that, hey, I owe some child support or I'm paying child support?
Mhm. Well, the credit report I did get within the last 24 hours. It was yesterday.
Okay.
I knew he owed child support, but I was under the impression it was nowhere near this amount, and that a portion of it had been forgiven. But apparently that is not the case.
Okay. All right. So
I was under the impression that it was about 20 or 30, and that he had paid 75% of it, and that the other portion was forgiven.
Do you guys have joint banking?
We do not.
That's a problem. And that's a real problem, because this is why you didn't know about it even any sooner than this. And the other problem is you told us before we went to the break, you guys haven't even spoken about it. So I asked you if he knew that you knew, and you said, well, he must, because he knows that I pulled a credit report. So that means if that's in fact the case, you guys are walking around avoiding each other. The tension's got to be so thick you can cut it with a knife. Am I right?
Well,
okay, it doesn't matter.
He knows there's something wrong, because he's asked me several times today.
Yeah, you're showing him.
Are you okay?
Yeah, and what have you said?
Really, nothing.
Okay. All right,
I'm avoiding
Tasha.
it. Yeah, pretty much.
Tasha, this is when he comes home from work. You guys, it's everything is on hold, and you got to sit down and share with him what you know. And we've got several things going on here. Okay, he has lied to you, and you aren't addressing this right away. You're kind of trying to sit on this a little bit. We got to get this out in the open. It is what it is now. And you weren't told the truth. And you guys have separate bank accounts, which means you guys are not truly unified. And the reason I'm bringing up the separate bank accounts is because when you sit down with him and talk about all the relationship piece and the lying, there's also the financial part to this. So the state of Wisconsin, every state has laws on paying child support. And so when a judge lays down a decree, as he has in this situation, saying you owe this child support on a monthly basis, and now it's been racked up to 100, and if it's not paid in a timely manner, then they can do a lot of things. Interest, which is going to make the 100,000 bigger than it already is. It's going to keep growing. like a monster underneath the stairs. It is then tax refunds can be garnished and withheld, if you will, pay. I mean, this thing is a really, really nasty thing that's got to be dealt with. It can't be swept underneath the rug anymore. And so it's time to get this all out. And I will tell you that marriage counseling is a piece of this as well. We've got to get this fixed. We're 3 months in, and this affects you financially as well.
And here's the thing, Tasha. I think when you sit down and talk to your husband, I would try to find a way to just to find clarity, because here's the concern that I have. Okay, whether it's 100,000 or 10,000 or 5,000, it's you're not supporting your own child, and then that's more important than $100,000. That you don't want to support the human being that you brought into this world. And so I would have that conversation before the money, because do you two plan on having kids?
No, we do not.
Okay.
I'm older. Well, we're both older.
Okay.
And,
Sounds
I guess
good.
not much older, but we have adult children.
Yeah, I agree with Ken. I agree with Ken. You two have to get to the bottom of this, but I also, I'm not a woman, so I can't say this, but I'm like, I would want to know why. If that was my brother, why are you not taking care of your responsibilities? Because now that makes me concerned about us together.
Is your husband gainfully employed, or is he just scraping by?
Yeah, we both are employed and make about $35,000 to $40,000 a year.
Both of you together or individually?
Each individually.
Okay, so let's call it $75,000 to $80,000, somewhere in that range. He's going to have to deal with this, and you're going to have to make him deal with this. But I'm going to tell you where it starts. It starts with no longer are we having separate bank accounts. There's no more secrets. He has violated trust with you. Now, I do believe that he can be forgiven. I think he should be forgiven. But that's if he repents and acts in a way that would allow you to truly give full forgiveness. But we've got to move forward on this. And he's got to take care of this. And he's got to step up big time. And you've got to lay it out there and say, we're not just going to treat this like, the dirty little secret that nobody wants to talk about. This is a problem. Yeah. You have been dishonest with me. You have broken trust, and you've got to earn that back, and you got to take care of business. You got to get with the courts. You got to figure something out, because there's a reason why he's $100,000 behind.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That I don't know what it is, and we don't have time to unpack that. But I also think marriage counseling, I would, if I were you, I would push him really, really intensely, because you guys need to get with a professional and deal with some of the stuff that's going on here that's put him in a place where he feels like he has to be dishonest about it.